At Northfield, in between races, I just watched a girl walk by with the biggest head of hair I've ever seen in my life. She was like 4'3" and 2 feet of hair on top of her head.
It would be like if Ava brushed her hair dry.
I told you, it's like the girl from the Trolls movie. But hey, listen, that was an impressive head of hair. 3-year-olds. I'm in between races. I'm going to get the 3-year-olds done. I told you, tomorrow, Amy and I are going to do the opening tomorrow on Sunday, as we generally do. Arrowhead Hanover, what a great way to start the list. Man, he went one hell of a mile the other day. That was, I told you, it was Sterling Hanover's brother that finished second, eh? Yeah, Meshuggah went a huge mile, did a little bit of a moonwalk halfway down the lane, but still was second, still beat us. That was a hell of a mile. 52-4, and it was not a warm day. I dare say that was mile 52-1 today, a hot day like today where they're all going fast. It was chilly the other day. Arrowhead Hanover race huge. We head to Plain Ridge. Him and Maury are going to race. I'm torn whether I want to race together for a lot of money or... Oh, the test barn.
Oh.
Yeah, test barn. I think that goes without saying, no? I don't think so. I was just listening to an announcement over the speaker. Yeah, I don't know whether I want to race for more money with two of them together. I want them to be split. I'm official. It's official. I'd like them to be split.
Why, is it up to you?
No, of course not. It's not up to me. It depends how many horses.
Sound like it was up to
It depends how many horses are entered in the race, but I do have to fly out there, and I'd like to race them both. So what am I talking about? Of course I want to race for more money. Or I want to race with them separated. Arrowhead Hanover coming in razor sharp. Somebody said, well, I don't know if Maury wants any part of Arrowhead. Last I checked, Arrowhead doesn't have a world record. What's that?
That wasn't me, by the
No,
way.
last I checked, Arrowhead Hanover doesn't have a world record. And Maury is just getting, he's still 3-4 weeks behind where Arrowhead was. But that doesn't matter. If he gets a good trip, again, he does his best work from off a helmet, take the ear hood off, put earplugs on. And if Mrs. Flanders, who's taking care of him with her husband, does the job that Mark says that she can do, then he will be nice and shiny the next, well, maybe not by Thursday, but hopefully shortly thereafter. So we'll see. But and I'm not that worried because I'm going out there to make sure all the equipment's on. I'm going to warm them both up, make sure they're all ready to go. Even if they get in together, it doesn't matter. I'll make sure that everything is operating properly as we head into the Battle of Bunker Hill in Massachusetts. What? Oh, the girl with the hair. Oh, she can't be more than 12. I can't do that. She's like 12 years old. What? What? I see a little girl. That's a little girl. She's maybe 13 years old. That is the largest head of hair I've seen on a child in a long time. It's impressive. Good job. Aunt Lily, I think Jason and I are still in communication about this. It's still up in the air, Buckeye or Sire Stakes. I think we're leaning Buckeye, but I don't know for certain. As I said to Jason, until we know for sure what's what, why don't we just stay close to home here at Northfield Park? So I guess that has to play a role also. So Aunt Lily, I'm kind of leaning towards Buckeye. We'll see what Jason and I come up with next week. Blue Ventura is in here on Wednesday. Now, Amy said she just heard him cough in the barn a couple of times. I'll go back. We'll see if he ate everything, too, when we go back.
He seemed fine. I just heard him cough.
You know,
Let's get your wrist bike and he cough.
That's not a good thing. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next 5 days. Captain Incredible now, the one hiccup about me going to Massachusetts next Thursday, it is the day that Looks Like Money is entered in the Open. It is the day that Captain Incredible is entered. As Tim pointed out, it's the day that his filly is entered, Time's sister. She raced great the other day, winning 53 and a piece, easy, and looked really good doing it. But as I said to Tim, Arrowhead Hanover and Memento Mori, they're not super tricky, but they are both a little tricky. And I can assure you, if somebody warmed up Arrowhead Hanover, they're like, oh, we gotta let those hobbles out. Please don't touch the hobbles. It's like the fire alarm. Don't touch the fire alarm. Leave it alone. So I was happy with the way he looked the other day, happy with the way Maury raced. I'd like to leave them like that. So I am going to go to Massachusetts first and foremost. My thoughts this weekend on next Thursday is looks like Money's Class is not going to fill. If it does, great. It's not like he's a super tricky horse to drive. And Captain Incredible, I trust Ron. I mean, listen, Ron, he drives enough good horses. And I trust a lot of those guys over there. They all do a great job. Captain Incredible felt very confident the other day, and that was what I was looking for all along, that confidence as a racehorse. Now, I don't want you to let him rattle down the road. Still, drive him conservatively and race him hard on the end of it. But he's sitting on a big mile. That's pretty obvious. Chicago Hall races tonight in the SBOA eliminations. I'm eager to watch that race. Foxy Seaside, you know, he had her in Milton at the half and ended up for the SBOA. Absolutely, there is. 100% there is. Did Nellie not say anything? You might have to ask her, but for sure there's a starting fee for the SBOA. Foxy Seaside just drove her conservative, and at the start I'm like, Jesus, James, you got her way out of the race, but then he put her in a perfect spot. Second over, she was in a great spot and just didn't fire the way we'd hoped. Wasn't really anything to talk about in the scope. Maybe a little bit of redness, a little bit of mucus, but nothing really of any consequence. So we'll get her over here. My only question was, is she going to get around Northfield? Well, she trained down in Northfield, and we did train her pretty hard at Northfield. Did she race last year at Northfield? Foxy Seaside? I think she raced once.
No, you sent it down to Stacy.
But I think she raced once here, though. I think she raced once here. I'm not positive. Either way, another question for Jason and I next week. Then she trained down here, you're right. Freedom Hill has been great. Also eligible tonight in race 4. She'll be in next week. Again, Buckeye or Cyrus. I think Buckeye. But this is an ongoing conversation between Jason and I. And it's not like he's saying Cyrus Stakes and I'm saying Buckeye. No, it's just a dialogue. And we'll see where that lands. Gaslight Hall is in the Nommers of 3 on Monday. I thought he'd just be like a favorite. There's some salty horses in that Nommers of 3 on Monday. It's a stiff test. I guess there was a voice inside me saying, might be able to do the gold this colt the way he's been racing. Well, he's going to have to. He's got some hurdles sitting in front of him, and a number of them are in Monday night's race. Gorgeous package. Buckeye this week, as I said to Jason, especially with her, I would rather race at 8-5, and not to say that we will be, but I'm assuming somewhere in 8-5, 2-1 in a Buckeye, or 12-1, ship her all the way down to Scioto to do it. Now, the other side of that coin is racing on a half as opposed to a 5/8, which he's obviously a little bit better on. But risk versus reward, I think here for the Buckeyes the best place to be. Grand Slam Dio, she's getting better. She was good the other day. Just beat at the wire in 57 last half, 57 last quarter, 29, 28. Look good. She's getting better. I see a big difference over the last 2 weeks, but I still see much more that needs to be done with her. Her back is still tight. Her feet still bother her. Tim and his crew are doing a great job, and I think there's a lot of upside coming for this filly now. There's a gargantuan berth between where she is and where we'd like her to be. I'm well aware of that, but she is on the improve. Gymboree was entrapped the other day. Jason's a little bit of a savage. She's also eligible 1 on Wednesday. She's getting fixed tomorrow. That entrapment is being fixed tomorrow. I don't know if that was planned or not. But she's going to be fixed tomorrow. She has next week off. She'll race the week after that. Manhattan Money, good yesterday. A tiny bit of a coward at times, but, I guess, we always have that prosecution and defense attorney type, voice in my head. The easy answer is he should have went by. He should have won. Little disappointed with his output, but he did finish second, so take nothing away from him. The other side is giant colt, tight hobbles. If we could get him to where he was comfortable and balanced and let those hobbles out, who knows how fast he'd be. That is a fair statement also. So although I think he should have won yesterday, he's still got a ton of growing and maturing to do, and it appears that he's doing it. Mountaineer Prince, I think, has raced his last race for us. I think the blacksmith will be in on Monday. He'll have his beard with him, and if he has his checkbook with him, he'll also have a horse with him, I suspect, come lunchtime. We'll see. We'll talk to Enos on Sunday, but I've given him more than enough rope to hang himself and myself, and he's done both of us in. So, Mountaineer Prince, just no excuse for these breaks, and he's got to go. Never Lose Felix, not a fast horse, but he's doing his work well. I almost entered him in the Stallion Series the other day, but we weren't allowed because he was racing on. Do you know this is a rule in Pennsylvania? You're not allowed to race a horse twice within inside of 5 days. So I thought the problem was that Jason had entered him here Tuesday. They drew Tuesday morning. Therefore, Jason would have to race the horse in Pennsylvania. Now, Jason doesn't have a Pennsylvania trainer's license. He could get one. It would be annoying, especially for a horse that would have been 10 trillion to 1 morning line. But then Tim said, no. It's not even the trainer issue. The problem is there's a rule in Pennsylvania you're not allowed to race a horse back in 5 days. I did not know that. Now, maybe that's a Meadows rule, but he made it sound like it was a straight-up state Pennsylvania rule because Felix was going to be scratched here Tuesday if we raced him over there. I just said, it's not worth the hassle. We'll just skip this time. Maybe next time they come around, we'll put him in. As it turned out, they went in 55 and 56, and I can assure you Felix would have been way outside his comfort zone in 56. I jumped over some horses here. Melisandre is in the Meadows Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm gonna book off the Meadows. I asked Ronnie. He said he would drive Melisandre Wednesday from race 2. We can stay here in gate school on Wednesday. It's supposed to rain. Of course it would rain. Memento Mori, as I said, racing in the Battle of Bunker Hill on next Thursday. I hope they separate them. I'm going out. I'd like to drive them both. Mountaineer Prince, we talked about, Never Lose Felix. Oh, He'll Know is coming over here. Showed a tiny drop of blood in the qualifier. She's going on Lasix when she comes over here to race in her first start. So another little added wrinkle for Joel out there. I forgot about that one. Resolve Indeed, schooled begrudgingly. I heard it from both sides. Dominic politely and James with a lot of curse words in his text. I told them, I am not wasting starts. Don't race them back in 2 weeks when they're 12 to 1 going morning line going out on the track to begin with. To do so when you haven't had a fast mile in 2 weeks, it just makes no sense. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. The next time she has a gap in her schedule, she's coming here to race in the condition claimer Numbers 2, where she'll win from here to that burn over there. Instead, she has to race against the likes of Chicago Hall unless they start filling the fillies and mares Numbers 2, which is going to be nip and tuck. Rose Run AJ, unfortunately his blood did not come back that bad, so again he's going to have to wear that coward hat for the remainder of the summer. Listen, Blue's the same way. I put him on the front, I put him in a position where he was vulnerable, he was going to have to do extra work, and he chose not to. Fine, just don't put him in that position again, and we won't. He's in here on Wednesday and should be just fine. Rose Run Alexandra, I'm about to go drive here in about 5 minutes. Yeah, she's 5 to 1, or 5 to 2, 2 to 1, something like that. There's 2 horses in there that are going to give her quite a tussle, I think, on paper, from what I can see. Speed of Sound qualified good. James said she doesn't think she can do the maiden. I said, well, you're going to have to try for a week. We have horses in the maiden over here, so she's going to have to race at least once in Ontario. Woodmere Betcha was a winner in her first start back, 58, 27 and 4, 28 in the end of it, and looked very, very good doing it. There's your 3-year-olds.
Is that you?
No, I'm not Ed Hennessy.
No, I can't understand my guy.
It's just English.
That wasn't English.
How did I know what he said? So those are your 3-year-olds. I'm going to go right now. I'm literally minutes away from driving our girl, Rosa and Alexander. Good luck to all my partners. I hope she does well. She's been racing well, but there's one in there shows 55 pretty regular. I don't think she's ready for 55 tonight, but we'll see in just a minute. Take care.